480 Club's mission is to support, coach, and educate youth, especially diverse students, to reach their potential, make positive decisions, and become productive adults in society. In their words, their goal is to create what we needed growing up, while giving back what we received to pay it forward. Inspired by his needs as a child, founder and CEO Joseph Hooks, Emerging Leaders Class of 2019, established the 480 Club in 2014 to train and mentor young student athletes from the local community for 480 minutes. A small minority-owned business, 480 Club believes that the psychological effect of a bigger number would empower the mind of the youth to take pride and strive for excellence. An LLC partner with Identity Inc., 480 Club has successfully created safe spaces and opportunities for both youth and staff to volunteer and meet the needs of the communities in which they serve. They have hosted annual shoe drives, donated sports equipment, and provided sports instruction to underserved youth. In 2020, 480 Club shifted its contractual partnership of youth services and case management to create and implement a food distribution site in Montgomery Village, the Watkins Mill School Cluster, serving thousands of families. With 4 employees and 8 student volunteers, 480 Club works every Saturday to distribute food to over 125 vehicles, impacting over 700 people weekly. They also donate their time during the week to coordinate their distribution efforts and gather items such as fresh produce, poultry, and baked goods. 480 Club is proud to serve the community so many have called home since childhood. Staff morale is at an all-time high as they are humbled by the trust that the community has placed in their organization. We are pleased to recognize 480 Club with the Emerging Employee Volunteer Program Award. To accept this award, please welcome Mr. Clarence McNeary. Clarence?
I'd like to thank you on behalf of the 480 Club. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the founder and director of the 480 Club, Mr. Joseph Hooks, as well as his mother, Ms. Tracy Clay, who is the executive director of the Celebri School of Germantown. Thank you for trusting me not only with your professional reputation, but your personal brand as well. Thank you for providing me with the platform to take massive action and impact thousands. The COVID-19 pandemic presented us with a crisis of inequality between poor minority communities and affluent white neighborhoods. This crisis was not new or secret, but it was exposed exponentially as small businesses and essential services began to downsize or cease operations altogether. Traditional nonprofit work consists of referring individuals and families to organizations that have the resources they need. We realized that this traditional approach was neither sufficient or appropriate for the challenges and desperation that our community faced. An unprecedented challenge called for unprecedented action. We quickly recognized that we could no longer be the middleman, so we became the resource and the solution. We knew our course of action before we had a plan. We didn't collect data to determine if people needed to feed their families. While we recognize the value of data as the evidence of need, we believe that a more organic way to garner support was through real-life testimony and video evidence. We invited our partners to witness firsthand the need in our community and our unwavering commit to service. In partnership with So What Else, Costco of Wheaton, Sam's Club of Gaithersburg, the Up County Consolidation Hub at Black Rock Center for the Arts, Women Who Care Ministries, Identity, Manna Food Center, the Montgomery Village Resource Center, Crown Trophy of Gaithersburg, and dozens of weekly adult and student volunteers, we were able to provide members of our community with a free assortment of fresh produce, meat, poultry, canned and boxed, as well as baked goods every Saturday over the last 9 months. What originally started as a 3-person team providing free service became a quality opportunity for student and adult volunteers. We hope to use this experience not only to continue to address food insecurity in our community, but to expand into various forms of community support ranging from coat, clothing, and shoe drives to recreation opportunities. We understand the value of quality volunteer opportunities. It truly takes a village. We've seen firsthand that change is not only imposed through experts, but through massive effort. Thank you.
Founded in 1971 and headquartered in Laytonsville, Rupert Landscape has a strong commitment to giving back. As a leading landscape contractor, Rupert Landscape embraces social responsibility as an opportunity to help the community both locally and internationally. With the belief deeply rooted in the idea that individual fates are linked and futures are intertwined, one of their core values is care for our community. In addition to providing employee volunteer opportunities, the company also consistently gives 5% of their profit annually to charitable causes. Rupert Landscape credits their community involvement efforts with strengthening their employee retention and morale. More than 75% of their approximately 1,700 employees, many of whom have been employed for 10 years or more, regularly participate in company-sponsored volunteer opportunities. A strong company culture that is focused on community connection and employee appreciation has undoubtedly contributed to long-term company tenure. In fall 2020, when Montgomery County Public School students began virtual learning, many in the community struggled to balance work and their children's education. With the help of the Greater Washington Community Foundation and the Black and Brown Coalition for Educational Equity and Excellence and BARTI, the Rupert Family Foundation began a fundraising campaign vowing to match all donated funds. Together, they amassed a total of $550,000 and used the funds to create the Educational Equity and Enrichment Hubs, also known as the EEEH. The Equity Hubs allows children of qualified families to have a safe and stable learning environment with access to technology, regular meals, and adult supervision. Currently, there are 1,300 students enrolled in Equity Hubs throughout Montgomery County. Thanks to their advocacy efforts, additional public dollars were appropriated to support the Equity Hubs, allowing the program to continue through March 2021. Without the remarkable leadership of the Rupert family and their company, this would not have been possible. We are pleased to recognize Rupert Landscape with our Innovative Employee Volunteer Program Award. Here to accept the award is Sophie Felts, representing Rupert Landscape Companies. Sophie?
I'm Sophie Rupert Felts here on behalf of Rupert Companies, and it's an honor to be recognized by Leadership Montgomery, who themselves do so much, so thank you. When I was a teenager, I had a job interview with a man who knew my dad. He asked me, "Why has your dad been able to build such a great company?" The teenage me was annoyed by the question and answered something along the lines of, "He's a really good landscaper." Disappointed, the guy said, "No, Sophie, your dad is an extremely hard worker, and more than anything, he cares about the people." I clearly didn't get the job. I've since realized that many factors, hard work, exceptional people, above par mowing skills, inherent privilege, and a few strokes of luck along the way have all contributed to his success. But my dad's real gift is his ability to attract passionate people, and they've always kept service at their core. Together, the Rupert team has created a beautiful culture of hard work and care for community. Rupert employees get out there and they exude buoyant energy and exuberance along the way. This year, Team Rupert masked up and delivered meals to frontline workers, cleaned up parks, and planted 243,000 white flags at the COVID Memorial in DC. One very worthy effort that garnered our attention in sport were the Equity Hubs. And I want to recognize Anna Hargrave and Kimberly Rusnick at the Greater Washington Community Foundation, Byron Johns at the Black and Brown Coalition for Educational Equity and Excellence, and Rory Richardson at BARTI. I personally spent hours with this crew this year. Their dedication, stamina, and true belief that we can do big things is incredibly inspiring. We at Rupert are honored to be nominated for our innovative volunteering efforts, and we're thankful to work alongside such great organizations. We learn from your example. Thank you.
iTegrity Inc. believes that if you take care of your employees will take care of your customers. Caring for their employees means providing them opportunities outside of their job responsibilities and includes community engagement opportunities that benefit Montgomery County and the surrounding communities. Founded in 2009 and based in Silver Spring, iTegrity Inc. provides innovative technical, engineering, and management support solutions to mid and large-size organizations and the federal government. The company believes in conducting business with integrity and has a long-standing commitment to giving back to the community in which they work, live, and play. In 2020, iTegrity Inc. donated over $12,000 to Montgomery County nonprofits that focus on homelessness and food insecurity. Twice a month, and in partnership with Guru Nanak Foundation of America, iTegrity created a program to provide a week's worth of groceries and fresh produce to more than 2,000 families during the pandemic. Leading by example, CEO Tarandeep Bawa volunteered every weekend to assist with food distribution. The company's employees also organized additional community support efforts, such as collecting food for the men's shelter in Rockville and volunteering with other local organizations such as Shepherd's Table. In the beginning, iTegrity Inc. measured their community engagement success by the number of programs they were able to support. Soon after, they shifted evaluation guidelines to focus on the number of engaged employees, which grew their employee volunteer program so quickly. An expansion was needed to accommodate the increase of eager staff volunteers. As a result, they reached 100% employee participation in their various community engagement opportunities, with 95% of their contract staff also contributing. Now that's taking care of business. For their continued commitment to engaging their employees in volunteer service, we are so pleased to recognize iTegrity Inc. with our Evolving Employee Volunteer Program Award. Here to accept the award is Tarandeep Bawa, President and CEO of iTegrity Inc. Tarandeep?
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, everyone. I am Tarandeep Bawa, President and CEO of iTegrity. As mentioned, we are a technology, engineering, and management consulting firm located in Silver Spring, Maryland, and primarily serving the federal government. I've lived in Montgomery County pretty much my whole life. So, when I started my business back in 2009, I thought it'd be only fitting to do so in Montgomery County. As our slogan reads, integrity, service, delivered. Service is at the core of our business. Service to our employees, to our customers, and of course, the community. So I've made a concerted effort to instill that, what I call giving back culture into the company. I feel strongly that our corporate community has a social responsibility to give back, and I will do my part and encourage others to do the same. A company that encourages service will inspire its employees to do the same. Initially, I wasn't so sure if employees wanted to skip their lunches every day on a busy work week to make sandwiches for the needy or pack, put together backpacks for the underprivileged. But we found that people will absolutely take the time if provided the opportunity. And our employees rise to the occasion every single time. So I'd like to thank the employees at iTegrity for this recognition, since without them, this wouldn't be possible. I'm grateful to be able to support and facilitate our events that give back. And thank you to those employees who have created or helped organize service opportunities. To every employee who's shown up to help better our local community. And last but not least, to those organizations that allowed us to partner with them to help make a difference. iTegrity will continue to do its part in the community, and on behalf of all iTegrity employees, we thank you for this very special recognition.
To present our Well Workplace Award, please welcome Monica Escalante, Chief Financial Officer, Chief Communications Officer for Montgomery Hospice. Monica?
Thank you very much, Wylea. The Well Workplace Award is designed to recognize a company committed to benefiting the whole person through employee wellness and volunteerism programs. Manna Food Center was created by the community in 1993 and is achieving its mission to strive to eliminate hunger through food distribution, education, and advocacy on a daily basis. Manna Food Center guiding priorities include increasing access to healthy and culturally appropriate food. They embrace equity and justice in the community. And they also deliver cost-effective and impactful programs. Because of these core philosophies, the organization has grown from serving hundreds of people each year to serving more than 55,000 annually. Manna Food Center values the Montgomery County communities that it serves. And at the same time, they value their own staff members. Drawing on their commitment to health and nutrition, the organization began a staff wellness program in 2014, working with volunteers such as dietitian interns and local experts. They created a series of educational opportunities and incentives focused on employee health. They also encourage healthier habits and better wellness practices, such as drinking more water and offering tips to help employees save for the future. The past year was incredibly stressful for their essential workers, making operations more difficult than ever before. With this in mind, Manna Food Center worked to ensure these essential employees, many of whom are people of color, were supported by offering hazard pay, incorporating staggered work schedules, and providing emotional health resources. One of Manna's mottos is, "We care for those who care." And this past year, they were able to exemplify these words with the help of their board of directors, volunteers, and professional humanitarians. We are pleased to present Manna Food Center with the World Workplace Award. Here to accept the award is Sylvia Zimmerman.
Thank you, Leadership Montgomery, Montgomery Hospice, and Gallagher Insurance for selecting Manna Food Center to receive this honor. Everything Manna has done to encourage and nurture well-being is thanks to our organization's amazing board, staff leaders, many of whom are graduates of Leadership Montgomery. Several years ago, we created Be Well at Manna, a program with helpful tips and fun contests to encourage everything from drinking more water, getting active, to saving for the future. One of Manna's mottos is "We care for those who care," which became even more important a year ago with the triple crisis of the pandemic, racial violence, and economic recession, which hit our community. Our essential workers, many of whom are people of color, experience a great deal of stress. Thanks to our incredible community of supporters, we were able to quickly provide PPE for our staff and volunteers and put programs and policies in place to make sure they understood how and why to implement social distancing. We've been able to offer hazard pay, implement staggered schedules, and have truly focused on our team members' emotional well-being. As an immigrant who grew up in Montgomery County, I'm extremely proud of Manna's diversity. We truly reflect the community that we serve. I'm also proud that what we've done to make Manna more supportive and a more caring place for everyone. In the aftermath of racial violence, we created We the People, a space for staff to have different and difficult conversations about justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. Within this important work, we were grateful that 6 of our teammates are now participating in Leadership Montgomery's Racial Equity Action Leadership Program. We couldn't have done any of this without the many individuals, organizations, foundations, and businesses who have so generously supported Manna's mission during this challenging time. Thank you again for this recognition.
Los Choros Restaurant has been a community partner for over 32 years. Just like they believe in delivering beautiful, authentic dishes to its customers, Los Choros believes that kindness creates a beautiful and authentic community for all who live in it. For years, the restaurant has played an active role in the community by donating to local schools and fundraisers, supporting many nonprofit organizations and the communities that they serve. Los Chorros has been a beacon for the Latino community, especially during the occurrence of natural disasters in Central American countries. Los Chorros restaurant was founded as a mom and pop restaurant in 1989 by Pedro and Reina Lazo, who had more than 12 years of experience in the Mexican and Salvadorian food industry. After several years of cultivating a legacy of authentic taste and a home feel, they passed down their legacy to their sons, Omar and Jason Lazo, who continued to keep that tradition alive. 2020 was a crippling year for the economy, particularly for the food and hospitality industry. Despite their own challenges, Los Chorros recognized that so many others in the community were struggling and continued to give back. They wanted to ensure that food was provided to the community and the employees who risked their lives to provide essential services. Through their partnership with the Up County Hub at Black Rock, Los Chorros worked to assist in meeting the needs of the community, providing monetary donation and food to those in need. Their small team of 15 employees volunteered weekly, even on their days off, giving back to the community who have generously supported them over the years. Treating others how you want to be treated is a simple yet driving philosophy of Los Chorros. Through their continued partnerships, they will make certain that Montgomery County remains a great place to raise a family and run a business, providing limitless opportunities to future generations. Leadership Montgomery is pleased to recognize Los Chorros Restaurant and the Up County Hub at Black Rock as our Partnership of the Year. Here to accept the award is Omar Lazo, owner of Los Chorros Restaurant. Omar?
Thank you, Wylea. That's an incredible introduction. I've been blessed to be a part of this business and honestly, this community here in Wheaton, Maryland, for over 32 years. I grew up in this business, and I am so honored to be receiving this award on behalf of our business here in Wheaton. And I'm honored also. I was part of the core class of 2020. Just such a wonderful experience for me, and hopefully it'll be something that'll help me to use my talents even further to help out my community. And I just want to thank, definitely the Up County Consolidation Hub in Germantown, especially Grace Rivera Oven, who was really the person that really started that and saw the need where we have all these food insecurities, and she saw the need of taking food directly to the people that were COVID-19 positive. Because they were quarantined, and when she called me and we started talking, it was something that she didn't have to ask for anything. It was just like, how can I help? And that's how that started. And now they're feeding thousands of families. I still continue to work with them. And it's something that, we've been blessed in this county with so many great people that are helping with these food insecurities. I definitely want to thank my mother. My mother always taught me, and my mother and father, but my mother always taught me, you give back to the community, you give back and you do things without waiting for anything in return. And that's the philosophy that I grew up with. I saw my mom giving back when there was tornadoes or hurricanes in El Salvador, doing fundraisers, sending money back, actually physically flying down there with goods and giving goods out in little towns. It's something that I grew up with, and it's in my DNA, it's in my blood. So definitely, thank you to her for that. And we're going to continue. There's a lot of work to be done here in the county, and food insecurity is something that's, I definitely have, a lot of work to be done, and I want to be a part of that.
Our final award this afternoon is presented each year to one business, organization, or individual for outstanding service in Montgomery County. Leadership Montgomery is proud to recognize M&T Bank as the 2021 recipient of the Corporate Volunteer Council Award. The Holiday Giving Project has been in effect for more than 30 successful years in Montgomery County and provides holiday meal staples as well as holiday gifts for children, for their families who may not otherwise be able to participate in the holidays in this way. Leadership Montgomery, in partnership with M&T Bank and the Kennedy Cluster Project for nearly 10 years, focuses our outreach and giving in the 20906 zip code. M&T Bank has been instrumental in raising the necessary funds to make this project the huge success that it is. Not only do they lead the very integral fundraising efforts by reaching out to their vast client and even personal networks via personal letters, emails, and social media, M&T and their employee teams show up in person to also volunteer. M&T Bank teams from various Montgomery County branches and corporate offices show up in great numbers to do the physical work that is required to get the culturally appropriate food staples and gifts out to each deserving child and their families. This past year, due to COVID-19, looked very different for our holiday giving project. Leadership Montgomery, M&T Bank, the Kennedy Cluster, and a whole host of volunteers made contactless door-to-door deliveries, benefiting over 250 families, which includes their over 500 children. Thanks to our partnership with M&T Bank, thank you, M&T, for your continued and consistent commitment to the communities that we serve. Greg Smith.
No, thank you, and honored to receive this award on behalf of M&T Bank. And honestly, the holiday giving is my favorite time of the year. I feel like every year we start planning for it literally like earlier and earlier. So, you know, come January or February, we're already setting the date for that December and getting the team together. And it really is a team effort, especially this past year. The way we had to pivot with, you know, the pandemic and not being able to collect, you know, toys and go shopping and, you know, pivoting to the gift cards. It just an amazing job by the team. And we actually raised more money this year, I think, than in any other year, which just goes to the generosity of everybody that supports it, you know, employees, other local companies, you know, customers. It's really just a team effort, and it really brings the community together. I have to say, you know, I do look forward to getting back to, you know, the normal holiday giving where we have the toys, because I really enjoy taking my kids shopping for the toys. And my favorite story was, it was the first year I did it. My daughter was 3, and we went to Target, and she picked out a Minnie Mouse doll, and I literally had to pry it away from her to wrap it and give it to, you know, holiday giving. And that day for the distribution, literally the first family that came in, a little girl around the same age, out of all the toys there, she picked that Minnie Mouse. And I went home and I kind of snuck a picture of it, and I showed my daughter, and I said, look, she picked the Minnie Mouse. And she just looks at me and goes, can I have it back? So it's just, it really is an amazing, you know, there's so much impact, and the kids and the families, from the food to the toys. I really enjoy it every single year. And it's one of those things where you send out the email internally to get volunteers for something, and you know, you get everybody responding right away because everybody enjoys it so much, and there's never a shortage of people raising their hand to help. So kudos to the whole team. Kudos to Kennedy Cluster Project and Leadership Montgomery. We'll be doing this for years to come. It really is the best time of the year.